Hello, dear friends. Today we're gonna talk about Jonathan Fox's book Introduction to Religion and Politics, 10th chapter, Government, Religion, Policy, Official Policies, and Supporting Religion. All governments have a policy on religion. On a basic level, governments need to choose between supporting religion, regulating or restricting, or being neutral. And before talking about religion, government policy, let's talk about what is policy. On a general level, a policy is a course of action adopted by an entity such as government, political party, or institutions. There are several ways in which governments can create or declare a policy. I will emphasize just some of them. Like, first of all, it can be constitutions. Constitutions outline fundamental government principles, often addressing religious freedom, official religion declaration, or separation of religion and state. And then goes laws. Like, governments create policies through laws governing religion, financing, building locations, and public religious practices, making them the most effective means of policy creation. Then, government administration create regulations to implement laws, such as determining building codes or permits for places of worship. Executive orders also serve as a form of regulation. Governments often enter formal agreements with religious entities such as Catholic Church in Denmark, known as concordance, which includes clauses defining the country's official religion, funding, and Catholic education. And additionally, we can include here courts as well. Courts interpret and make laws in independent countries, resolving contradictions and interpreting unclear laws. For example, the European Court of Human Rights overturned in 2002 Italian case over crucifix displayed in schools. By saying all of this, it's clear that most types of policy, government religion policy, is complex and influenced by many actors at all levels of government. The presence or absence of policies provides a guide to be normative decisions made by governments worldwide about the desirability and morality of various aspects of religion. Let's move on with talking about official religion policy. What is it? Official religion policy is a state's meta-religion policy encompassing various policy options. Many governments declare an official religion policy, often in the constitutions or a secular declaration of separation. Complex official policies often outlined in laws can also exist. Official government religion policy can be divided into two categories: states with official religion and without religion official. Academic studies often focus on the presence or absence of an official religion, but there is a significant variation in how countries deal with religion. States with official religion usually declare this in their constitutions, but can do so through some other means, such as congregants or law. For example, the 1954 Concordat between the Dominican Republic and the Catholic Church declares the Church the country's official religion. And here I have divided official religion into three categories. As you can see, religious state, state-controlled religion, and active state religion. Firstly, let's talk about religious states. Religious states enforce their official religion primarily, for example, in Saudi Arabia or in Maldives. It's basically Islam, and this applies to all their citizens, tourists who visit their country. in all residents, regardless of their majority religion. And another example is Kuwait enforces Islam primarily on Muslims, with separate courts for religious minorities. Family law is determined by religion, and alcohol, pork products, and gambling are illegal. Ramadan bans public eating, drinking, and smoking, and the government funds religious institutions. Religious institutions is mandatory in public schools and private schools, and proselytizing to Muslims is illegal. Restrictions on religious minorities include land purchases, private worship, and restrictions on public religious events. And what about state-controlled religions? They have a positive attitude towards their official religion, but also substantially control its institutions, like Denmark. Denmark's Evangelical Lutheran Church has a relatively unencumbered government, but the government still substantially controls its apparatus. And other Muslim majorities countries like Morocco financially support Islam, legislate some precepts, and control Muslim religious institutions more strongly than Denmark. Their governments are more independent from religious influence than religious states, as emphasized above. Morocco's Minister of Endowment and Islamic Affairs controls preaching, religious publications, education, and broadcast religious material, while also monitoring Muslim groups and restricting their actions. Over 100 Islamist militants are held in Moroccan jails, for example. And what about active state religions? These are countries that support an official religion but have minimal regulation and control. For example, Iceland's constitution declares the Evangelical Lutheran Church as the state religion, but it's largely autonomous. Comparatively to Denmark, Cambodia's constitution declares Buddhism the official religion, but supports priest training and regulates religion by prohibiting political use of worship places. States without religion have the same policy options as those which have official religions. They can support, enforce, control, and regulate religion. Here I have divided into several categories, which are based on the extent to which the government is supportive, neutral, or hostile to religion. First is preferred religion. Refers to a state that does not declare an official religion but single out one religion for support and benefit. Iran, for example, has a strong connection to Catholicism, with aspects of Catholic doctrine being low. Then here comes multi-tiered preference. Religions are divided into tiers with varying levels of support, as in Romania. Romanians 2006 law on the freedom of religion and the general status of religious denominations established a multi-tiered preference of system, favoring a single religion above others. And cooperation. Cooperation is a policy where government supports all religions equally. Here we have the example of Belgium. Separationist policies in countries like France maintain separation of religion and state, but often restrict its presence in public spaces. France's 1958 constitution declares the state secular, and the 1905 law on the separation of church and state guarantees freedom of religion but allows restrictions for public order. In 2004, a law prohibited students and employees from wearing conspicuous religious symbols in public schools. French government have also banned ultra-modest clothing for Muslim women, such as burkinis, at public beaches and pools. Then we have state-controlled religion. is a policy where the state established religious organizations to limit religious activity despite a negative attitude towards it. The China, for example, recognizes 5 patriotic religious organizations for Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism. These organizations are legally recognized but heavily supervised and monitored by the state administration of religious affairs and the Public Security Bureau. Leaders are expected to have close working relationship with government, and as religious groups grow, they are pressured to join these organizations. Non-specific hostility. Non-specific hostility is a government policy where religion is heavily restricted as a part of larger policy to prevent opposition, and autocratic leaders fear religion as a venue for opposition, restricting it like other opposition organizations. Cuba is the only country with this policy. As from the book, specific hostility is a policy where the state is ideologically opposed to religion. All religious organizations and expressions of religion are repressed to at least some extent, specifically because they are religious. And here our journey comes to end. Thank you for watching.